I'm going to ask all of you watching, and even if you're watching on replay, please you add to the comments, because we still see the comments on replay. You just put hashtag replay and then put your comments in, and that's great for us. So my first question to you all tonight is, does it kind of not offend you? Well, does it offend you when you lose? Does it really bother you when you lose a client? Yes, if it does. No, move on. Okay, so George, what are you like when it comes to losing clients? How does that affect you?
Do you know what? I'm one of these that I am really offended. Like, I get really upset. I'm like, I can't believe you've cheated on me. I feel like, and then if someone's cheated on me and they message me and they're like, I want a haircut, and I'm like, I'm nobody's second best mate. I say it as a joke, but I'm not really joking. But since I've had a business coach, they have helped me to see it as a statistic, as rather as somebody like not coming back. And actually, it can be a really simple reason why somebody doesn't come back to you. It could be the fact that life's getting in the way, or they've got a school run, or it can just be the daily burden of life why they don't come back. But yeah, I do get quite offended. I get quite upset.
And here's the thing that I want you all to think about as you're listening to this, right? I want you to all of you, visualize one client who's been a real regular of yours for like the last few years. And when you just suddenly think of them and you think, oh, I haven't seen so-and-so for so often. We've all got those, haven't we, Jordan? Or is it just me that thinks that?
Yeah, definitely. We all have them, and I think that's why I do a lot of callback campaigns in the salon, just to find out and nose around. And there's a couple of things you can do. You can get your receptionist to do it, or another team member, so that they don't feel awkward saying the truth. Or you can just give your clients a text if you know them on that kind of level. But I have a really, really bad habit of always telling every new client about our 2-week window of basically any amendments that you want to do to your hair. You've got a 2-week window that you can come back and do it for free. But I mean, it's the worst thing to say to a client, because it kind of makes them feel like, should I be coming back? But for some reason, I just feel like it's really nice to give them the freedom to be able to say, oh, it's quite a colour change. Do you think I can tone it down a bit? It's a bit too light? Or do you know what? You didn't cut enough off the fringe. And I want to open up that conversation, rather than them just having to be like, oh, I'm too embarrassed to say anything, I'm going to go elsewhere. So I say it a lot. Not everyone does. But I think you just got to be careful the way you say it, because it can be a bit self-deprecating at times.
So
Yeah.
when you get a new client to you, some would say, George, that they feel a pressure. There's a new client coming into your salon, and it's that. But you feel like you're being judged on every level. Your salon's being judged, you're being judged, the conversation that you're having. Is that something that you feel affected by?
We discussed this earlier, didn't we? And no, not necessarily. I was actually saying I'm probably more, I wouldn't say attentive, because I'm always attentive, and I'm always like, hair's the most important thing to me. So to get your hair colour and your hair right, it really means a lot to me. But I would say that now, when I have a new client, usually I'll get messages on Instagram, or I'll get messages on Facebook saying, I've followed you for ages, this is the colour that I want, I know you can do it. And I'm not saying I make less of an effort, because that's not true, but I'm probably more confident with that new client, because actually they've taken the time to research what I do and the colour changes I do. Therefore, they've come with an expectation that in itself can cause a bit of nerves to you, but they know that I can do it, and I know I can do it, and I feel quite comfortable around new clients, I'll be honest. But maybe that just comes with experience.
There's a comment here from Sarah, and I think this is it. She's just put, she disappeared in lockdown. I've messaged and rang, but no answer. Now, we've all got those clients, haven't we, that were so regular up to the lockdown, then they haven't returned. And you do. I know I naturally, and I can think of probably 3 clients that I'm thinking have been great clients of mine. Where have they gone? Are they just growing their hair long? Do you start saying, because you do think about it, and somebody says it bothers us because we care. You care about your customers, and you develop that relationship. But have you experienced this, Jordana, where you haven't had a client just return back, and what could be some of the reasons for that?
Well, it could. There's loads of reasons. One of the biggest reasons for me would be someone who wants to go really light, and I know that I can't get them there without taking them through that ginger period. And it might be that they've had too much colour on their hair or anything like that. And I just say, look, I'm sorry, I just would not advise professionally to do that. And I have lost a few clients that way. But it's really important for us to remember that we are humans. We may have an off day. And if someone doesn't connect with you, it's not a big deal. There'll always be new clients coming in. So long as we're definitely taking lessons from that and trying to capture as much feedback as possible, like maybe the emails that you can do to automatically send them out to capture feedback. And I think, we're not going to be on top form every single day, and we're not going to emotionally connect with everyone. So,
but it is a little bit like a relationship with a new partner, and I kind of describe it when you have a new client. It's almost like you're going out on a first date with somebody again. It's that whole kind of you've got to get to know that person once more. Yes, you've got to get to know their hair, and you've got to understand what they want, but that big part of that relationship, you've got to start that new part of a relationship, George.
Yeah, I mean, I actually do feel like, I have actually done that where I've not seen clients for a while, and I've personally gone through my email list and I've picked them out and I've actually sent them a message and I've said, hey, what is it that we couldn't do for you? Can we welcome you back in our business? And actually we have actually seen a return from those, just by having a little bit of bollocks and saying, hey, I might not have done it properly, but how can I be better? Do you know what I mean? And we have actually seen
how long it was going to take you to say bollocks, George.
Yeah.
I didn't have you down for saying it though, Jordan, so quickly, but there you go. So let's just have a look at some of the comments just coming in here. So we asked, so just going back, we had Heather, it's hard not to take it personal, but I agree that our clients, not friends. We blur the lines, unfortunately. I think that's really true, isn't it? That you can start to, you feel like your customers do become your friends, but actually
they're not.
They're not. They're your business. I think it's so important. I flashed this up earlier. Justin, we do courtesy calls. I've just lost. Lee said I've just lost one of 24 years, so took it so personal. That's hard. I know you say they're not friends, but they are. Clients become. They're kind of friendly strangers, if that makes sense. I'm sure if you had a big celebration, how many clients off the top of your head would actually you invite to that celebration?
Quite a few. But I think what we've got to remember with the business head, I have to say that you do naturally lose 28% of your client base. And that's not anything personal. That's just...
We also get, we make money off people not being happy with their hair. So on the flip side, we have to see it as a positive, actually, everyone's going to have an off day, or everyone's relationship with their clients eventually going to break down, because that's what brings new clients to us. And the best thing we can do is basically quiz each new client that comes in and say, what is it that's brought you here, and what is it that you weren't happy with? And 9 times out of 10 they just say, my hairdresser didn't listen to me because it had been 10 years and we just did the same thing, or it could just be that I didn't feel like I was part of the decision process, that kind of thing.
But this is where being complacent really comes in, because in actual fact, we'll only keep 20% of those new clients walking through our door. Whereas in actual fact, if we utilise what was sat in our chair and we decided to really look after them, they're 65% more likely to spend more money than what a new client ever would with you. So that's something that I think is overlooked, and that's where we become complacent, right?
Good stuff. So my wife can be demanding when they think a friend. Yeah, you get that demand, don't you? Loads of new clients through they are working from home and not commuting. This is another subject, and I'm interviewing Joe Mills about this, about London and the effects that they're feeling of not having city workers. There is a big shift of clients moving around, I feel, at the moment, Jordana, isn't there? That maybe sort of going back into a local environment. It's like going into your bubble of your local community, whether that's in, the suburbs of London, Yorkshire, wherever that may be.
I mean, I'm going to be totally honest. I've lost 30% of my regulars. And when we have done the callback campaigns, we found that it's because they've said, I can't justify travelling into London, because a lot of them don't live in Kensington and they only worked in Kensington, but obviously their offices are closed. So, of course, they're not going to come in. And I do get it, because some of them might live with vulnerable people. and what have you. So they've just found mobile hairdressers, and I'm just hoping that after a year they might get a bit bored of having the mobile hairdresser come round, and they might want the experience back. So I'll just keep communication lines open with them, keep doing the marketing emails, and one day hopefully win them back.
Yeah, I know
But in the
Joe Mills,
meantime,
he's
I'm still
launching
getting
this
good
app.
clients.
He's launching an app where, to fill that quiet salon space time to actually go to the clients. Is this something else, we may see more of? But some great comments coming in, and keep them going, everybody. Let's just have a long before we move into Becky with Belle. We've got Becky Sutherland. Hey, Becky. She's put, I've moved my salon through lockdown to a bigger salon. I've had loads of new clients come in. I'm still really busy, but it really does fit me losing clients. I can't help but take it personal. It's an awful situation. You do take it personal sometimes, because we all just, you'd hate, none of us like it if you hear a client go away and say, I couldn't stand how Georgia done my hair. It's that hurts, doesn't it?
I just think we bend over backwards more than any other industry. I think actually we do more. The amount of times, I've stayed till 11 o'clock to do your hair. I've moved my days around, and I don't think, you're not going to get Maureen that works on checkout at Tesco agreeing to do an extra 3 hours just so she can pack your bags for you. Do you know what I mean? I think it is a very personal service. Do you know what I mean?
He's just said, I've been doing it so long that I only lose a client when they die. We did say about this earlier. The girls were saying that about me as well, my clients, Paul. I'll tell you, cheek of them.